Ladies and gentlemen, 4th of July is a historic day when you look at the calendar and the history. Happy Independence Day for everyone in America, the land of the free, what they say. And today for UK might be another historical day as people are flooding to the polls to vote for the future of the United Kingdom's governance. But in terms of Manchester United, 4th of July represents a day of reckoning, represents a new dawn when it was announced that Erik ten Hag was given another contract extension. The house is full, including appointments with Dan Ashworth also coming into the frame earlier this week. So what does it mean? Well, that means that we are a full-fledged team. We are ready to cook, with Chris Vivell is also added to the coaching staff, and also the latest reports that we are appointment a new goalkeeping coach as well. So this is a very important now, how we can go to the market, sell to buy. Right now, Manchester United are moving very quick on the market. We're seeing amazing deals happening, something that's very unprecedented as we've been living under the rock, under the Glazers' ownership. But lo and behold, this is the new dawn. This is how we turn the page as United fans and understand that Ten Hag is going to be backed. Ten Hag is going to be able to cook his meals the way he wants. With the assistant coach, Ruud van Nistelrooy and René Hake, and also having the Jelle Ruvelar as a new goalkeeping coach, Manchester United are moving bits on the market. Guys, it's been Mick Ruby here in MUFC Realist TV. We're going to talk about the ins, but in today's show, it's all about the outs as well as potential. We have sale, fire sale announced by no other than Dan Ashworth has started that 7 players can potentially, raise up to 200 to 300 million. And we're going to discuss who, but you're also going to have an opportunity to go into mufcrealisttv and do the player transfer rating there as well, because we're going to talk about the outs and the ins. Guys, I'll be joining in the studio by Uncle Jimmy and potentially some other guests as well. But for now, it's me and Uncle Jimmy, and you know what to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back in 15 seconds. Here we bid.
Hello and welcome to MUFC Realist TV. I'm a member of this channel, but you should subscribe or in this show, we're gonna look a cow in the ass. Let's go.
Has the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Welkom. Dit is mijn home and I want to achieve success. Okay?
And success is what we're after, Erik ten Hag. And we all seen it today, the breaking news that Ten Hag was actually given an extension, which means it's not really a contract renewal. Well, he was actually activated another year because he had 1 year left on his contract. But that is good. That is raising the standards according to my opinion. And my understanding is that, you're getting all this backing. You have all the backroom staff appointed. And now, Ten Hag, you have no excuses. Go and play your style of football. Go recruit the players you want to recruit and get rid of the deadwoods, which we've been crying out to get rid of, because you've been complaining that these people that currently have the personnel do not fit your style, and the injuries is a memory gone. So now we are turning the page as a fan base, as Manchester United on this day. 4th of July is a historical day. We are fully complete with a full footballing people operations. Can you imagine? We waited 11 years before. We used to have 7 bankers not understanding football, doing footballing decisions. Now all of a sudden you have Omar Berrada in place. You have Ashcroft in place. You have, Jean-Claude Blanc starting. You have Gary O'Driscoll in charge of the medical department. You have a new head of recruitment. It's going to be there temporary, Chris Vivell. I mean, this is madness, I can't help myself to see the garden path is there laid out for Erik ten Hag to be successful. But in order to be successful, of course, we're going to talk about the transfer news, but we're going to need to also sell. We need to get rid of the deadwoods, because this has been the Achilles heel, the player power in Greenwood, Sancho, Rashford and all that stuff, and nobody is safe. Will we be able to raise 200 to 300 million? And we're going to talk about how we're going to do that. Before we do that, I'm going to give you all a massive shout out as we're waiting for Uncle Jimmy to come in. Realist United is here to say, like the video. Please, guys, let us get up to 100 likes, 200 likes, because likes is very important in the world of YouTube. My stats are saying that there is, 30,000 subscribers, but not so many turn on the all notifications. So please do turn on the notification and make it personalized so you never miss when we go live. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to find. But the likes, finger the like button, because it's very important. The way YouTube is recommended, they look at the engagement, they look at how many likes, and they will sort of recommend to other Manchester United fans that are watching other contents. For instance, some people might watch Goldbridge, United View, but we are here for you guys as a community together. And on this day of recording, we have Realist United say, I will not have a chance to watch this live stream. I'm up with my family, but I will watch the replay. Big up to you, Realist, big up to Legend, and have a fantastic meal with your family. Jeffrey, what you're saying here is coming in here. I just not see it being possible. They can't raise this amount. And I hear that notion, Jeff. I do hear you, what you're saying. Why? Because we have been so used and abused for 11 years that under Woodward and, Glazes that, we couldn't sell a packet of crisps if we didn't, even if we tried hard, right? We were buying big and selling for peanuts. But now it's total different page, Jeffrey. I do understand that PTSD, but the foundation now has been, the slab has been actually put to ground, and now we're building all the way to the roof. So in fair ways to say, like, yes, we were not happy with the 25%. Everyone wanted full sale only. But in ways that Ineos is now in charge of the footballing operations makes a hell of a lot of difference. If we look back in 1 year ago where we were standing, everyone were bitching and moaning to say, oh, we haven't done any signings, and we were waiting to the end of the window and overpaid and tried to panic buy and panic sell. But now we have a proper structure, proper plan in place. So yeah, I hear you, and therefore I kind of raise your concern, because we are consumers of the game. We love a club and we want the club to succeed. So I am now backing this. I see the garden path. I see the vision, what they're trying to do, and I salute, because I was skeptical. And I will say that proof was in the pudding until it's eaten, but we are starting to see the proof. But the final result, what we might see, will be kind of at the end of the window, because now what's left is to recruit the players that fits the mold of style of what the club wants to do and what the managers wants to play, but also get rid of the players that don't belong here in the club and that cannot play the system or the style of play. Do you feel what I'm saying, my friend? So big up to you as well. Danny B is in the house. Legends in the house. How you doing? Raising 300 million, what Jamie Wayne is saying, without shit overhyped players. Well, I know exactly. Like, you're laughing, and we all are skepticals, but the way we are moving at the market at the moment, we're setting a precedence. We are not overpaying. We're not going to be taking for mugs. We walked away from the Everton deal. They wanted to take 75 million from us. So we said, nah, it ain't going to happen. You know what I mean? So we just walked away and went to Matthias de Ligt, and boom, barabish, barabush, bash, bash, 34 million. Bayern Munich wanted 50 million. And he agreed to cut his wages to come to play only for Manchester United. The pulling power is there, people. They see the project. They understand what is cooking in Ten Hag's kitchen or Ineos Revolution kitchen. And they all seem to want to be a part of it. No matter what, if we're playing in Europa League or Champions League, they see that this is one for the future, where I can come and make my mark and make my stamp and be potentially a legend in this club, like a class of 92 and upwards, if you know what I mean. So big up to you. And Sandra Mayers, what would the stream be without the legendary Sandra Mayers? What are you saying? I think removing so much deadwood would be a difficult one in this window. Listen, nothing's going to be solved in one window, right? One swallow doesn't make a summer. We all know that. Or Rome wasn't built in one day. But damn if you don't try. At the moment, they have a massive task to do that. But I have a full confidence that if you look at the people that just joined, right? Ashworth is there to joined, right? Chris Vivell is there to help with the talent and recruitment and scouting, helping to sell. We have Negotiator, which is, what's his name from Adidas? Matt Hardgreaves as well. So all of a sudden you have the footballing people in place. And I believe that next week also, beginning of next week on Monday, you have Omar Barada starting, the new CEO. So we are going to be cooking. We are going to be selling. So who's to say that's impossible? We have not seen, because we've been sleeping under the rock and we've been misused by, Ed Woodward. They were buying in players for commodities, offering them silly wages and silly money. But what we're now trying to see is they're trying to undo this by offering lower wages, performance bonus, and everything is going to be based on team, right? Not individual brilliance. And this is, I applaud that. I see what they're trying to do. Gavin Underwood, big up to you. Be great to get it started though. We got to give it a little bit of a chance. For you, for me, transfer window, I love this window. I love the speculations. I love to see who's coming in, coming out. But for some people, it's frustrating. And for some people, it's hurting the mental health. And, it's all about who's going to be first, who's going to be right. I don't believe you. I don't believe that. I believe Fabrizio Romano. I believe Ornstein. True. But the general fact is, it ain't done until the fat lady sings. No matter if it's here we go from Romano. It ain't matter what they say, because what matters is that they signed that dotted line. The ink should be wetted and put on the paper, and they should hold up the shirt. Then we see it till we believe it. But until then, it's just speculations. But let them do the work. Let them go to work and make us watch this spectacle happening. 4th of July, remember this, as iterated. It's the day when UK is going for a voting that might shape your future, right? You look at US, it's also they're heading into election. But today is the Independence Day. I wish we could say that one day it will be our Independence Day from the Glazers, but that eventually is going to come. But for us, our freedom is to turn the page and start over again. And really, this is the proper, authentic rebuild that we've first seen. We've seen many rebuilds, but this is the reckoning, right? This is a requiem for a dream, according to my opinion as well. So big up, Sander Mayes. I'm doing fine and dandy. Timmy's in the house. How you doing, Timmy? And guys, before we continue, C3PO is also here. Jamie Wayne Legends is here. We have some people pulling in here. We have Uncle Jimmy in the background, late as usual. But you know what they say, all the fine guests always arrive late. So I give him a slack for that, 100%. S. Madison is saying, I'm telling you, they're leaving on a free. We don't know how to sell, plus Deadwood are staying. I know that, mate, but that is the PTSD from the past. I get that. But I'm going to pull this legend in the house that I haven't seen for ages. He's my brother from another mother. Some people call him uncle. Some people call him the father or the stepfather or the uncle of the Kobe Mano, what he claims himself, the Jimmy Acha. How you doing, Jimmy? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you.
That is the best introduction I've ever had in my life, bro. That works.
Yeah, looking fine.
That's fine.
Oh man, I love your dreads, man. I love your dreads. How do you do?
Oh, cheers, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. Just chilling. I've been playing FIFA, just lapping some youngsters up. They all think they can play. I don't even play FIFA, bro. I play once every 2 weeks, and then I come here and I slap all these kids. Just listen. If you're watching and you think you can play FIFA, just DM me in it on Twitter. Just DM me and I'll play you in it, because I can't. There's no opposition.
No. Don't play against Uncle Jimmy. He will play you off the park. I promise.
No opposition, bro. No opposition whatsoever. But anyway, no, I'm good. Anyway, I'm good, my brother. How are you doing?
Good to see. I'm good, like Madhouse here too as well. I'm here. I'm present. I'm reporting for duty. And also Kat is here to say, I think that they call it fashionable late. You're a fashionable late. Or like
because I have to make sure I gather the energy from the universe. I have to gather it all, and Manchester United have given me some good energy, so I have to gather the rest of the energy. And when I get here, I need to be ready.
Yeah, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I think that Natalie Imbruglia wrote this song late about you, like torn. I'm a little late. This is how I feel. I'm wide awake. This is how I'm torn. That was a song about you, Jimmy, wasn't it?
You know what? I'll accept that. Constructive criticism.
Jimmy, I haven't seen you for ages, my friend, but I always ask the question. How do you feel today as a Manchester United fan? Honest to God.
Oh, what can I say? Can you hear me all right? You can hear me all right, yeah?
Yes, yes, sir.
Do you know what? It's very mixed emotions, I think, as a Manchester United fan at the moment, bro, because I'm frustrated by the fan base for the lack of patience that I've observed from people that I considered fairly reasonable Manchester United fans. I've seen a lot. I've seen
in what way? In what way, Jim? In what way?
I've seen a huge lack of patience in the manager. You know, I've seen Manchester United fans saying trophies don't matter anymore. Apparently, we don't care about trophies now. Apparently, winning trophies doesn't make any difference.
What? Are you kidding me?
I thought, what am I listening to? I thought we're Manchester United. We win trophies, but apparently, trophies are not even that important anymore. You know,
what? Seriously?
Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So I'm seeing people saying all these things. So I've said, look, I'm disappointed in the Manchester United fan base for not having patience in Erik ten Hag. And mostly for me, it's the fact that we know I think any reasonable Manchester United fan can admit that Erik ten Hag might have been given part of what he requested, but he wasn't given the crucial parts of what he was requesting at the time. I think people are missing that point. So Erik ten Hag was getting third and fourth choices. I keep saying this. He was getting third, fourth, maybe fifth choices sometimes. If you look at, you know, Casemiro was fourth or fifth on the list, I would have imagined, if I'm a scout at Manchester United. So, you know, he's getting all these third, fourth, fifth choice players, and he's still trying to make it work. And he's made so many mistakes in selection, in substitutes.
Yeah, true, that's true, man. True.
Underreacting to situations when we're playing teams that maybe we know we should beat, but we're not beating them, and things going wrong. Maybe he's reacted a bit too late. We understand that. I think he's maybe selected the wrong team at times. I think there was times when you know, Casemiro had no business being on the pitch and he was picked, and I think, you know, that was quite detrimental to a certain extent. He wasn't fit enough. And then there's so many other things that we can point to. But my main point is, we know the mistakes that the manager has made, but I think it was not enough to warrant the kind of disrespect that I've seen from the fan base sometimes. So for me, that's my first disappointment. The second thing is, I still don't understand why Manchester United fans are disappointed in the way that Ineos have operated as new
I don't
owners.
get it either. I've seen a lot of tweets and like, oh, you've been crying for this rebuild, you've been crying for footballing operation, you've been crying for that, and why are you complaining? What do you want now?
Make a decision for yourselves. What do you want for this club? Do you want there to be a structure up there? Now, if you want a structure, it doesn't just happen overnight and everything is successful over 24 hours. It doesn't work like that. Let this structure come in place. Let them have proper legal conversations with each other, because people are saying, oh no, but they should have been sending each other WhatsApp messages and talking already before they've come in post. I've said, no, there's legal implications for that. They might not even have wanted to risk talking to each other at this point, because the legal implications of that would have costed the club a lot more money than even paying the compensation fees that we've been asked to pay. So,
but you know what it is, Jimmy? You know what it is? I think that misery loves company, right? For years, we've been used to be divided and to argue against each other. And all of a sudden, like, you know, hang on a second, what's going on here? Well, I still have to prove my point. I still have to be negative, because I seen, like, you know, colleagues like Saeed. I love Saeed. He's a brother, like, you know, I love him, right? But, you know, I'm looking at those, and they've been shouting Ten Hag out. I've been finding excuses, and I'm going like, well, listen, it is what it is, mate. You know what? I also see that there's changes happening right now. It has been the foundation has been already set now. We're building all the way to the roof. You know what I mean? So I also believe that, you know, in the past, when it was, you know, when Glazers were running the operations, it was pretty much, you know, operate with, you know, with your hands behind the back, and they were telling you, nah, you have to pick Rashford no matter what, because he's a commodity player, right? And now you're hearing stories that everyone is up for sale, right? They even willing to listen for Rashford to set a price of 80 million, right?
Yeah,
So that means the
that's what
player
a big
power
club
is gone.
does. That's what a big club does. That's
I mean,
this is what a big club does.
just to take an example regarding the Belfast baby incident, right? What Rashford did in Belfast, he was strong-armed now. He didn't have an option. He didn't have anything to do. He basically, Rashford and his agent, his brother, walked into that player power and off. Like, he got away with about 2 weeks wages fine, and he was back into the team against Wolves and scored again, right? But he was strong-armed. What he was supposed to do, right? But I believe now they don't take they don't take crap, right? They're not going to tolerate this. They put a president down. Everyone needs to work hard for the places. Nobody's safe. Even you, Ten Hag, by the way. You know, we're not going to give you a new contract. This
But
is
he
how
knows that. But Ten Hag knows that. Like, people,
but you know what?
act like he doesn't know
They
that.
didn't take away. They didn't take away his veto because they didn't, amend his contract. So he still has the same contract added on another year. Basically, going to say, well, we're giving you all the tools now. You have no excuses. Let's cook.
No, but the only thing that's changed in his contract is this. So the sign off power, that's gone. I think he's got consultancy power now, but he hasn't got sign off power. So that's what I understand, is that he's been told that he can. He's got a say in who the club shouldn't be negotiating with, because they have to meet that profile. So I think they're going to have a conversation about the profile. But my understanding is, when it comes to signing off the player, he's lost that power. So he's got recommendation power, consultant
true.
power.
But if
that's going to be the difference.
If you're Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out, it don't matter, because if you're a genuine Manchester United fan, all you want to do is win trophies. You want Manchester United, after 11 years in the shithole that we've been to, start winning trophies. And these guys are setting the foundation. Like, it's going to be a rebuild. You got everyone on board right now. This is the heart, the spine that's in there, right? You got to fix that structure first, buddy. And then you go to the market and recruit. So people don't have patience. They like to whinge and they like to find something, find excuses. Well, he might be sacked still in December. Well, it's all about performance right now. Because what is in this is all about performance and team play, Listen, guys, if you're watching, I don't care if you're in or out, because if you love your club, Manchester United, this is the moment that we've been waiting for, the moment of truth. And the truth will be revealed.
I agree with that. I agree with that, because I think I've said, me as a Manchester United fan, I've always been a realist, because when I started supporting Manchester United, I was 6 years old when I started supporting Manchester United. So for me, when I was starting to support Man United weren't winning all the trophies. It was Liverpool winning all the trophies. So I started from pain, and the pain was, Liverpool beating us in the FA Cup and going on to win the double in 86, 87, whenever it was, and then looking at Liverpool winning the league, then the following season they did a double then, and then you're looking at seasons of whoever else won the league then, and I'm watching Liverpool playing the most amazing football. But I supported Manchester United because the very first game when I was 6 years old, I watched them play Newcastle United, and in that match, Newcastle won that match 3-2. It was an FA Cup match. I think it was a quarter-final, and I remember distinctively, Newcastle played the much better football. They passed the ball, they moved the ball around, all the things that even at 6, I knew, because I loved football from a very, very small age. So,
I get
I'm watching Newcastle play this amazing football, but I just loved the spirit that Manchester United had. There was this, like, you won't defeat us, and I could, at 6, I could feel that,
never say die.
It was like, you won't kill us, we won't die. Even if you win today, we're Manchester United, we're still going to come back next week and play football. And I loved seeing that, and that's how I supported Manchester United. So when I see it now, the law points that this new generation of fans, and I'm not knocking anyone because they're young or anything like that, but there's a new generation of fans, and I get it, because they don't know any different. But this new generation of fans that think success means manager comes in, wins all the trophies in the first season, it just doesn't work like that anymore. It doesn't work like that. It never worked like that then, and it doesn't work like that now. You know,
But Jimmy, you know what?
The illusion of wait, let me just make this point. The illusion of continuous success, right? Continuous success in the Premier League is an illusion, and that illusion has been promoted by Manchester City and what they've done. It's because everyone thinks that teams can come in, have the right director of football, right technical director, right CEO, right coach, right assistant coach, right coaching team, right players signed. Maybe only 5 or 6% of them have failed. The rest of them have been absolutely successful, and then everything has just gone right, like Manchester City have had. It doesn't work like that in real life. And there's not many teams that have been like that. Even Real Madrid were overtaken by Barcelona at one point. And then when you look at Barcelona, even Barcelona were then re-overtaken by Real Madrid. It doesn't just, you can't just have a sustained period for 10 or 15 years. It doesn't work like that at top football.
Yeah, true. Like empires. You know? It's like empires. It's like empires come and go. Like, and it's the cycle, right? Yep. Same goes with football. You have 10 years of dominance of City. Like we used to have 10 years dominance of Manchester United. We fall down, new empire rises, and there it goes, right? People go through rebuilds. The question what I have to ask the fans as well, like, you know, what do you want? What do you expect, right? Are you happy to sit there to create an agenda? Or are you just happy to just back the team, back the manager, back this process and see how we go? Because like, imagine if we start winning again. Like, imagine like Liverpool had it, what you mentioned, like they were deep down in the abyss and they appointed Klopp and they did start winning. And the fan base turned, like, you know, from being very toxic and negative to be very defensive, defending the badge, defending. No, you're not talking shit about manager or player. You know what I mean? Yeah. This is where I want the fan base to head against. You know, just defend. I mean, we've been on this channel defending, you know, this badge against the media. Like that's the reason why I started this channel, like, you know, to, you know, support the team for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It's just basically calling out the media that's trying to hurt this club, because enough is enough. They've been dragging us through the mud for ages. But now I see the light. I mean, I was a big advocate for, you know, Qatar to come in 100%. But I can also see them taking over the club with the hostile takeover eventually. You know what I mean? Selling Nice, investing it into United. Now the foundation is there. Now we just have to focus to recruit right. You have a system how we recruit.
What the best outcome is, and I'll be very quick with this. The best outcome for me would be Qatar taking over ownership of the club and letting Ineos run the football side of it, and they all make a lot of money out of it. And they know that as well. They all know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was a future plan. But anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%, guys. Big up for everyone that's coming in. I see legends in the house. I see Rush Mano is here. Mitchell van der Gaag and Benny McCarthy set to depart, according to him. And we knew that, and Benny McCarthy as well. But we have also some breaking news that we have appointed a new goalkeeping coach. This was provided by Rush Mano, by the way. His name is Jelle 10 Roevelaar. So we have 2 10s. Adding 10, that's 20. So Jelle 10 Roevelaar is the new goalkeeping coach. So we have a triple Dutch there all of a sudden. We have more than triple Dutch. Wait, what do we have? We have... René Hake as assistant coach. We have Ruud van Nistelrooy coach, and then we have Jelle 10 Roevelaar as goalkeeping coach. Yeah, who's going to be the set pieces coach? Will it be another Dutch? I don't know.
Did the other set pieces coach leave? Well, you know, the one that joined with all the hype when everyone's talking about him. What was his name?
I don't know, man. I don't know. That was a flop, wasn't it? Like,
Ramsey.
You know,
Ramsey. Was it Ramsey? Ramsey? What's his name? Ramsey.
Gordon Ramsay, was it? Ramsay?
No, Gordon.
Yeah. I guess people, what I wanted to say here, like, you know, you all saw it, like, you know, Ralph Ragnick was the first one to call out. He said, we need an open heart surgery. And apparently the appointment of Chris Vivell was a recommendation from Ralph Ragnick. So we see that you know, the Gegenpress father's spoken, and the Glazers didn't like it. They kicked him out, but they still spoken and took the words from Ragnick, who couldn't.
People have seen his Gegenpress with Austria, haven't they? They can see what the Gegenpress was. Look at that Gegenpress that Austria played with now. Look at that press. That press is. Do you know what? I've seen teams like, I've seen like lesser teams in the Premier League that have pressed. I've seen Aston Villa press quite well. I think, they've been one of the better pressing teams in the Premier League. I've seen Brighton do it at the start of the season. They lost it towards the end of the season.
Big up.
There was some issues there.
Yeah.
But
big up Ellington and
you
Peter
watch
coming
that
in.
Austria
Dutch.
team and
Wait,
you watch
wait. Let me
press.
just read this comment. This is funny.
Yeah,
Dutch
go on,
coffee
go
shop open at Carrington now. We're having Dutch. Yeah, continue. Sorry, you were saying.
But yeah. So it's good to see that press that he was trying to implement. I think maybe Ralph assumed from what he knew about the Premier League that he thought these players were strong, powerful, hardworking, difficult to play against because they're playing the Premier League. I think he just assumed they could all just adapt to his gig and press ways, and I thought I think he put too much on them too quickly. I think he could have.
Oh, okay. People, I just want to say, if you have questions, let us come to your questions at the end of the show, the Q&A session. Put in your questions. I will start them. Just start with a Q or question and then ask a question, and we will try to answer it. But I just want to finish my point there, Jimmy, regarding the open heart surgery. Now, I think that we have, I think, like we say in Germany, I think, what you're thinking about, like, you know what I mean? I think we started now the open heart surgery. It's been the preparation. The gown is on. Yeah. The scalpel's in the hand, and now we're going to cut the dead wood, right? We're going to cut it out. We're going to slim the wage bill. We're going to cut it. And, in order to sort of make a beautiful garden, you need to cut the weed.
Mick, an example is Rashford. I think that the fact that the club are having conversations about Rashford, I mean, we don't know, obviously, the extent to which they're having these conversations, but I think the fact that they're even entertaining any conversations about Marcus Rashford shows you that the open heart surgery idea from Rangnick wasn't so ridiculous after all. So yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Yeah. So if you look at, I want to kick off the show here because I'm a little bit pressed for time. I think you got 1 hour. We spent 30 minutes talking about the sheer excitement, right? Are we getting giddy? Of course we are. 100%. There's been a lot of news happening since the 1st of July, and this is the PSR. This is the new financial year, meaning whatever you spend, whatever you spend or buy comes into the new physical year. But it started off today. It started off yesterday. It started off Monday with the announcement of Dan Ashworth, and today came out on the 4th of July, which is Independence Day. And I don't know how the voting results are going in UK, but this is also kind of the vote for the future. I don't think that Richie Sunak.
I just got back. I went out. That's why I was a bit late for this, because I went to vote.
I think Richie Sunak will be out. Poor bugger. He was never elected. So anyway, but in a certain way, they triggered Erik ten Hag's contract today. We can see that the structure is completed. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Jean-Claude Blanc in the board, together with Dale Brailsford. They've been doing the strategical review. You have Omar Berrada starting on the 15th, which I believe is on Monday, I think. I'm not sure. You have Jason Wilcox. Dan Ashworth is now confirmed. And Christopher Vivell, the ex-Chelsea's head of recruitment. Ten Hag is going to trickling down. Ten Hag and his coaching staff, Rene Hankel, Ruud van Nistelrooy. My God, I'm so excited about Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Look at what they've done, right? And this is a beautiful move. And again, it will go unnoticed by most Manchester United fans. What they've done is they've allowed Ten Hag to sort out the intricate coaching details of this squad, right? Because the appointment of Van Nistelrooy is not a Manchester United appointment. That's a Ten Hag appointment, right? So Van Nistelrooy, with all his links to Manchester United, was never on Manchester United's radar as someone to join the coaching staff. That would have been Ten Hag saying, I want him on my coaching staff, because Ten Hag understands what he needs to build at Manchester United. This is what people don't appreciate. He's making a lot of effort in trying to reach slightly deeper than just the football at Manchester United. He's reaching for our soul. If you bring in Van Nistelrooy, you've touched a place that other managers haven't touched before at Manchester United, right? So you're bringing in someone who's a legend for us when we see him. So already we're giving you all the energy that you need to feed back to us. And this is what's going to make Ten Hag successful, is because he's making the right moves. Him bringing Van Nistelrooy is very important. Ten Hag making a decision about signing a new contract where he's saying,
100%.
look, I'm giving up some of that power, but guess what? I'm happy to work with you guys so we can choose the best players for this squad. Yeah, should we shake hands? Yeah, let's do that. That's the right thing for him to do. So people are not appreciating how much Ten Hag is putting into this club as individually, what he's putting into this club. And people should be very, very happy about that, because he's going to do whatever it takes to be successful at the club. Not just for the club, but also for himself, because he's put himself in this position now. So he has to be successful, and he knows that. So Manchester United fans now should be excited about Ten Hag staying at the club, rather than being sad about it and asking for De Zerbi, who would have been a diva at the club and would have been having argument after argument with the ownership, and it would have never worked with De Zerbi.
Yeah.
So
I agree, Jimmy. I agree.
Where we are at the moment. Anyway, carry on.
And that's why I like talking to you, because I look at your tweets, I speak to you, and you've always been reasonable about United and the culture and the standards, and you see the forest from the trees like me. For instance, if we go back to this, chart, what it is basically, hey, we have done this strategic review, performance review. We recognize that Mitchell van der Gaag was not good enough for you. He was not progressive enough. He was pretty much withdrawn. McLaren was a dinosaur from, what do you understand about football, McLaren? So it was not good enough, in certain ways. So they've done the strategic review to say, Tenag, what do you need in order for you to focus to do your job? So the appointment of, to say, Rene Hake and the appointment of Ruud van Nistelrooy adds a different dynamic to the scene, my friend. It does, doesn't it? So that means that Ten Hag cannot just focus implementing his style. You got Van Nistelrooy focusing on the strikers. You have a goalkeeper. You have Hake to be there to advise, and basically be the drill sergeants, right? They don't take fucking shit for nothing, right? If you know, like, Van Hake, he's not a mug, right? And then Ruud van Nistelrooy, they're all winners. So one thing they have in common, they are winners. It's all about high performance, high standards, and it's a marriage what Ineos is all about. Performance, high standard, marginal gains, stuff like that. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I am kind of getting on board with this. I can see the vision. I can see what they're trying to create. It's like you started with a blank piece of canvas, Jimmy, right? When Ten Hag came in first, he came in, he had a blank piece of canvas, but there was slabs of Fred, slabs of McTominay. It was like a Van Gogh picture. There was all weird stuff. So what he did now is just to take that canvas, blank it off, and start fresh with his acrylic, his paint, the way he wants to do. If you guys can understand the analogy, what I'm trying to say here, it's never easy to come into a new manager and inherit all this shit, right? And work on the Glazers' ownership. But now all of a sudden, when you have all this structure put in place for you, you cannot fail. Simple as that, right? You cannot fail. You eliminate, you abolish the player power, 100%. You look at the medical department, which has been overseen, and you appointed, Gary O'Driscoll, right, to be head of it. Every single piece of department has been looked at, and even the overbloated, staff at Carrington and Mayfair, there's 200 people being cut because they say, what are you doing? What's your role description? Well, I don't know. I work 2 hours a day, man. Seriously. Yeah. So it's just like, it's the right direction, man. Seriously. And, I want to sort of go into a little bit of the ins, people, before this is all about the outs. But, in the way you can see that we are now operating on the market, Jimmy, is to say the pulling power is there. People want to join, but we're no longer mugs, example is Everton. Wait. Let me finish. Let me land.
Yeah.
Everton wanted to mug us for 74.5 million for Brentwaite. I said, get out of town, right? What did we do? We turned to Matthias de Ligt, buy him to 50 million. We got him for 34, apparently. And plus, he wanted to lower down his wage bill, right? And he only wants to speak to United because he's seen the vision. He's been told that you are going to be the star boy. This is what we're going to achieve. Right? Players don't just join you. Like, they look at who is in the coaching staff. How am I going to develop? How am I going to put my stamp into authority? Right. Yeah. And in the past hours, breaking news as well. Matthias de Ligt has rejected Liverpool, PSG, and he only wanted Manchester United. Right.
Yeah.
and including Bayern fans was crying, creating petitions. Please don't sell him. So that means that we got a fucking good deal, right? And some people say, well, hang on a second, he's injury prone. But there's another tweet that comes out here. I just pulled it out here. I'm not saying I pulled a rabbit from the hat. De Ligt had played 75% of his games at Bayern Munich, as well as 79% of his game at Juventus. A 74% availability. So where's this injury prone coming?
No, he's not injury prone at all. In fact, actually, if you look at the stats for defenders in the Bundesliga, he is the 6th highest prone to injury in the Bundesliga. Now, how many top defenders are there in the Bundesliga? And all the top ones have got more injuries than he had, if you look at the total number of games that he's played. So the stats will disagree with all of these things that people are bringing up about him. But I'll tell you what, I don't get excited about names. I'm not one of these people that gets excited about, Neymar, Mbappe, whoever you want to bring up. I don't give a shit about names. Couldn't care less. I just want players that can come to the team and play football. I like him because, for me, when I look at the profile of defender that Ten Hag looks for, what I think he looks for, because I look at when he was looking at Martinez and Timber as his main targets, and I'm talking about when he's been at Manchester United, because obviously he's looked at Premier League and he's thought this is the profile of defender that I should be going for. So if I look at Timber and Martinez, I look at the most prominent qualities that they've got. Technical ability on the ball when they've got the ball, the ability to read the zones that they're defending at any given moment. This is only for defense, but then their ability to read the transition. So if we get the ball now, what's going to happen next? It's that ability to be intelligent enough to know that, and it's quite a difficult thing to do. And I think that's why Van Dijk was so successful at Liverpool at the start, which I think he lost that.
Yeah, true.
Last few seasons, but that's a whole different conversation. But I think the fourth thing is he wants a defender that is happy to stand in midfield and look comfortable there. I think he likes that. He wants centre backs that can go up a few yards and not look uncomfortable when the ball gets to them, or they're following to start the attack, or whatever the case might be. He wants them to look comfortable there, and I think that's a very big thing. So I think De Ligt is absolutely ticks every single one of the boxes I've just mentioned.
But just remember, people remember, like a couple of years ago, I think that people say, I don't want him because he's not good enough because he snubbed us. He went to Juve instead. Remember that, right?
Don't take it personal. Come on.
Don't take it personal.
Jesus, man.
The guy's still 24 years of age, right? You offer him a 4-year contract, right? He'll be 28. And defenders usually come to the pump at 27, 28. So he's a leader. And the thing is, what I like, he's very good on the ball, very good in the air as well. He's not as fast as what you could be, but is he faster than Lindelof and Maguire? 100%, right? Does he have pace? Yes, he does, right? He's not going to race Mbappe.
Have you seen those videos 100%. Of him going on a sprint against going against Memphis, going against all these really fast wingers in the Dutch squad, and he's racing against them and he's beating all of them on the race. And that's a bit, and people say, oh no, that's just a training. No, it's the reason they do those drills is because it's very useful for knowing who should be where on the pitch at any given moment. If the transition happens, where do you want your players? Who's the fastest in the squad? How do you tell? Well, get them to race each other. I mean, that's the only way you tell who's faster than who, is if they race. Yeah,
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm just, people.
I know what you mean.
Make out like it's a small thing, but it's a big thing to know who's your faster players in the squad. And he's quick. He's very quick. He's much quicker than people think.
Another thing that's is very interesting is Todibo. Like, they are apparently working behind the scenes swiftly to get him 100% legalized right over.
I have no faith. I have no faith in that one. No faith in
I have faith in that. We can still sign him, but not play him in Europa League. That's the thing, right? We can play him in FA Cup. We can play him in Premier League.
No,
but
I don't.
When you are,
I don't think that's an option.
You can.
Is that an option?
It is an option. It is. It is.
Is it?
I looked into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of people. It is a loophole.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. You would sign him because he's good good. He's good, man. He's good. He's very good. He's good. I like him a lot.
I've consulted with some sports lawyers as well regarding what is this, and they told me, well, basically, when you have two two club owners owning the same club and you're playing in the same competition, like Nice and United, you cannot sign and play that player in the same competition. That's what it is. But UEFA is not governed by Premier. Wait a minute, let me land. Premier League is not governed by UEFA. Premier League is a different entity with the FA, right? So that means that you can sign him still and play him in domestic leagues, but you cannot play him in UEFA, and that's where the ban comes in, right? Anyway, so big up Brandon Chappelle. Wait a minute, I'm just going to read out the chat, people. Jimmy, we have so much to talk about, so we're talking about each other's mouths. I agree with Brendan is saying. Hake is defensive, and Ruud van Nistelrooy is offensive. That's where the balance is, the yin and yang, 100%. So what do you reckon regarding, is this a astute signing? Do you think that, if you're Matthias de Ligt, you went to Juve, you went for a reason, you go to Italy because to get a schooling. Italians are famous for the black arts of defending, and he got to school.
They are Italians will teach you how to defend. And you know what? And I'll tell you what, this is another thing that people don't study when they're watching individual players, especially defenders. If you look at when the player that went to Juventus, it was completely different to the player that came out of there. So you had this player who was when he went there, he was very confident in his ability on the ball, his ability to read what's around him and all of his stuff, but not the physical side. He was always smart. He was always clever, but he was never physical before he went there. Now he's played there. Look at the player that came out. He's bigger than he was when he went there. He's quite a bit quicker. And actually, I think he actually enjoys the physical battles against attackers. He enjoys it. He enjoys people pushing him around. He enjoys pushing people off the ball. He enjoys commanding zones and boxes. And he enjoys all of the defensive stuff that I don't think he ever enjoyed before he went there. So people...
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That there's a player that he doesn't blink, he doesn't hesitate into tackles. Like he's 100% committed. So what are people complaining about? I think this is an astute signing. And big up Jonathan Liljeberg for being a member for 12 months. And Jimmy Wayne is saying 100%, 35 million is a fucking steal. It is. It is, guys. Listen, I think this deal is about to happen very soon. I think
it will happen over the next few days. I think it will be announced probably in the next few days, I would imagine.
Yeah. Holland is deep in.
I've not seen, because usually with Manchester United, the journalists pay enough attention that if there was any negative connotation to this deal, we would have already heard about it, I think. And I haven't seen anyone credible saying anything negative about the deal. So for me, I hope the deal goes through now, because I think it will make de Ligt actually sort of play better. And I also think that it just lifts the fan base up a little bit. Having, we've signed a defender that we know is going to play well against alongside Martinez. It's a big thing. So yeah, I'm hoping that it just
if you just look what's coming out the latest, that he's been approached by PSG, he's been approached by Liverpool, and he only wants Manchester United. Rafaela Pimenta, his agent, has been talking to Manchester United. Personal terms, not a problem. Wages, he's lowering down his wages. He's fired up. He wants to come. Bayern, they do quick deals, right? Because Bayern already bought in their defenders as well, so they want to get rid of it. So yeah, this is from a harder meter. I would say this is I think this is looking like it's going to happen very, very soon, right, guys? Yeah. Guys, before you continue, go into mufcrealisttv. Go into the tab where it says player ratings, MUFC transfer window. Jimmy, we haven't done this before, but where do you rate this to be? Is it 10 to 100? I put it on 90% at the moment.
Where do I rate what?
This is going to happen. Is it 90% now?
For me, from what I'm seeing now, I would say more than that. I would say 95%, to be honest.
I don't have 95%. You mug.
Yeah, you need to have the fives.
100% is done deal. 100% is done deal.
90% is reasonable. I can't say 100% just because I think there's every possibility that there could be another defender leave a top club and then they decide to go for De Ligt properly, and I think that could be.
Yeah, but he's already said he rejected Liverpool. He's rejected.
Yeah, but it's only those two clubs that he's rejected. No, it might be another club that he's got his eye on that he might say that's his second choice if Manchester United deal doesn't work. So I never have 100. Listen, football transactions, we know how they go. I just feel like anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Listen, I know from the industry, if the player is chosen, I only want this club. No matter whose suitor comes in, I only set my eyes. I want to work with Ten Hag.
That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. Like, you know,
no, it's not. Look, listen. I can give you examples of players who have ended up at clubs where they had no business ending up.
Jimmy, don't scare the fan base.
Biggest example.
So you're saying he's going to be hijacked? Is that what you're saying?
Biggest example. Well, no, I'll give you two actually from the same club. Nunes. Where do you think Nunes wanted to go?
To Mars? To the moon? I don't know.
Manchester United. That's where he wanted to go.
Yeah, but that didn't happen because we didn't come in on time. We didn't have money to bid for him.
No, but that was his choice. He would have rather gone to Manchester United. That was his choice initially.
Oh, we didn't bid him.
Even though apparently he supported Liverpool at some point, but he said he wanted.
Yeah, well, okay. If Manchester United came in and bidded for him, which we didn't apparently.
No.
We were slow.
We didn't put an official bid for Nunes. No, not at all. No. We never
not at all. So if we have done that, we might have gotten Nunes. But now,
but I'm saying this is what happens. You know, players can end up elsewhere when they wanted to go to another place. So it does happen.
All right. We're not going to jinx it, Jimmy. So I'm going to pull it like on 90% still. But
90% is happy. I'm happy.
Don't scare the fan base. 90%, guys. If you put your votes in, please do that right here, right now. I pull it on 90%. This is hotter. This is hot. This is going to happen. Hey, Barabosh. You still guys on 50%. I do understand you guys. Like, you know, we've been living on the PTSD. Like, you know, we don't believe it until it's signed and delivered. 100%, Jimmy. Listen, so moving forward, right? De Ligt, I think it's going to be happening 100%. Joshua Zirkzee is another one that we are being smart on the market. We are going on release clauses. You know, it looks like we're going to sign him as well. Like, you know, you look at look at it. Here's the latest, Jimmy. Like, you know, Manchester United today have favorites to sign Joshua Zirkzee. Eric Ten Hag is calling Zirkzee almost every day. This comes out from Fabrizio Romano, by the way. AC Milan are still there, but they only wait for them to close this deal if the player's agent lowers down the demands. Ain't gonna happen, man. It ain't gonna happen. Ten Hag is calling. You know, hello. Wie gaat goed gaat, right? We have we have René Hanke here, and we have Ruud van Nistelrooy. Fuck me, man. Do you want to be coached by Ruud van Nistelrooy? Hell yeah, right?
This deal for me is 100%. There's no way this deal doesn't happen. I can't see why this deal wouldn't happen. You know, like with normal deals, I tend to say, oh, you know, anything can happen. I don't see how Manchester United don't sign Zirkzee. I just don't see it. I think this is 100% for me. 100%.
It's 100%. Okay, we can't do.
For me,
ladies and gentlemen.
For me, it's. I can't see why not. I can't see why not.
I'm not going to go that 100%. I'm going 90%. But before we pull the trigger, people, we have some breaking news. We have amazing breaking news. We have some gifted membership to shout out. Give it a thought, give it a break, and think about it. Go into the Hotometer and give your vote on Zirkzee. What do you think? Is it 90% or is it 100%? For me, Jimmy, 100% is a done deal, and it's not ain't done deal as of yet.
This deal
we have memberships.
I think this deal is done. I think it's been done. I think it's waiting for the Euros to finish and all the rest of all of this nonsense. I think this deal's been done for a while. It's easy, straightforward deal. Very straightforward.
Okay, you heard it all from Jimmy. He thinks it's 100%.
Oh my God!
First and foremost, I want to give a massive shout out for Jonathan Liljenberg for sticking with us. Thank you, Jonathan, for being a member for 12 months. But you also gifted 5 memberships, but we got to go in order because now I have to put my reading glasses on because legendary Rush Mano gifted 20 memberships, guys. I need to shout you out as per usual, guys. So let me see. Let me go into the chat who was gifted a membership from Rush Mano, and I'm going to give you a massive shout out. In the meantime, in the chat, give Rush Mano his flowers and roses because Timmy was gifted a membership, Simon Davis, Dav147 also, Ilir United was gifted a membership, and Origami as well, Legends, Donatus Camu as well, Jawik, Zeus was also gifted a membership. Big up Zeus all the way from USA, man. How you doing? CRG as well. Barman Legend was gifted a membership. David Chan as well, and DJ Superfly and Ashina John. So that was the memberships gifted from Rush Mano. And then we're going to continue on the memberships gifted. 5 memberships from Jonathan Liljenberg, which was Veron Viana was gifted membership from Jonathan Liljenberg, and Danny B says Legend Rush. Abbas Toby was gifted membership, a mental ball game, Andrew Moore, Del Grey, and Steve Brown. Who else do I miss here? Shem Shitai, Red Devil Mode, and Sharon Begley was gifted a membership. That's legends. We have 25 new members in their house. Please, guys, give them roses and welcome to the family. And now you become a member. Remember, memberships is so important for us as well. This supports the channel more than anything, more than you can think. I have nothing more than words to say thank you. But if you're being gifted a membership after 30 days, that expires, and it's up to you if you want to donate or become a member for only €1 a month. Become a member. Support us, guys. And Uncle Jimmy is back in the house. He had some turbulence there, but he's back. He's back. How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Anyway, Jimmy, like, you know, I promise we're going to pull the trigger here, right? I promised, and I promised on Xerxes. Where are Xerxes? Where is the Zerk? I call him the Zerk.
Gone past
The Zerk. Go faster, Zerky. I call him Zed, right? There he is. Okay.
Oh, there is.
Listen, I ain't going to pull 100%, man, because 100% is done deal. 100%.
It's
so
done. That's how I see it. I see it as done. Done deal. It's done for me.
Can we have an agreement? 90%.
No,
I'm pragmatic.
This is why you have to have 95% because you meet me halfway. So, you know.
I don't have a 95. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you mean saying. It's the overall vote. So I'll put a 90. Let's see.
Boom. You got to get that 5%, bro.
74, because this is formulating the hotometer, mate. This is formulating the hotometer. So, guys, big up to all of you. Thank you for coming in and supporting us. And we will see. I will just remove these comments. But thank you guys for so much for coming in. And Jonathan Liljenberg as well. Guys, Jimmy... Next story, what we're going to go into is Dan Ashworth. Now we're going into the outs, guys. Get your votes in the hotometer as well, like, you know, the transfer rating. Jonathan.
Oh, don't make me vote on my guys, bro. Don't do this to me, please.
Listen, one thing is the ins, but this show is all about the outs, right?
Oh, man.
And Dan Ashworth is now coming in to say, listen, he says 200 million, but I don't mind.
I have to be negative. You know, I don't like being negative. You know what I mean? You know me.
Let me land, my friend. Let me land. Okay, let me catch some breath as well. Now this guy is in right now. Is 6 players for sale, right? I know we have the PTSD. We say we cannot sell, right? But in order to buy, we need to sell as well, right? And he's coming in to say the green light. Dan Ashworth has been brutal to say, yeah, Ten Hag, we support you. We hear you. This player is not good enough. Let's put him on the market. Let's see. Potentially we can raise 200 million. But I even done the calculation that you can do more than that, even 300. And the way we're going to get to that is through the outs. Like we've been doing the player transfer outs, but Harry Maguire has been put on the market, my friend, as well. And there's been some rumors and reports that Italian clubs are coming in for Harry Maguire, but even Premier League clubs. Do you think, Jimmy, it's time for Harry Maguire to go?
Yeah, but he knows that as well. I think for his career, he needs to go because I like him as a defender. I think he's a great defender. I just don't think that he can contribute that much to the progressive way that Erik Ten Hag wants to play. So I think for his career, he needs to go and plays football elsewhere. But I like him.
Yeah,
I have no major issues with. Do you know what? I had issues with him. 3 seasons ago. Major issues where I thought he has no business being in that squad at all. But actually, he changed my mind a lot. He's put in some really good performances. I think he's played as a Premier League elite defender, and people won't like that. But I think he has. I just don't. Don't think that his style of football that he prefers can fit in with Erik ten Hag's progressive, sort of quick progression type football. I just don't think it works for him. But
yeah,
I think he's a good defender. I think he's a Premier League level defender at the very least.
Yeah. Kat, I saw your question there at the end. We will come back to that later. Let us just complete this. Big up for everyone coming in with your questions as well. Listen, I agree with what you're saying, but it's time to move on, right? 31 years of age. His market value is on £20 million currently, right? Asking price 30 million. Is that fair to say we can get 30 million for him? England international, yeah. I mean, obviously, he's not going to fit the way we want to play with fast centre backs and high pressing, high line, right? Harry Maguire is somebody that will play the sweeper for a low block team, right? If that's why he fits Southgate's team and potentially like some mid-table.
You know what? I like him. I like him when we play 3 at the back. I do. I really do. I like him, and I've heard many top football analysts say the complete opposite of that. But I've liked him when we play 3 at the back because I think he's very because Harry Maguire, if he thinks he's got enough security around him, that's when he's at his best. He only panics when he thinks he's on his own, when he doesn't have that support. So I think when we play 3 at the back, he always feels like he's got that one extra player on either side. And I think that gives him enough security to play his best football. But that's just how I observe it. But people have disagreed with me on that, including, like I said, some pretty top professional football people. I think. Yeah, but I think Carragher said the complete opposite. I think he said he prefers him when we play. I think he said he.
Look, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, man. I'm gonna be brutally honest. We got to be brutal here. Like, there's no sentiment. I get it, what you're saying. He saved us last season. He improved.
He didn't save us. I think he played well, though. I think he had some good games.
Played well, yeah. He played well. So, guys, I just encourage you guys to go in and put your vote in on Harry Maguire. And the way I'm coming to this, that 30 million should be a decent price to get for him, which I agree. And this is why we're coming to the point that how we actually can raise up to 200, 300. It's not easy to sell 6 to 7 players in one window, but at least damn if you don't. But Ashford's coming in to say open for sale. We have a super chat coming in from Jonathan Lillienberg as well. Big up, Jonathan. Just a question: who would you buy, Coyote or Frimpong? Jimmy?
Frimpong. I've always said Frimpong. I like Frimpong. Frimpong is a player, and you know what? Many of the reasons I like Frimpong are not even right back reasons, to be fair. They're more like just like footballer reasons. He does all the right things. He's so intelligent on the ball. I like the fact that he can be patient, but he can be erratic when he needs to be. When a game is at that sort of 85 minutes and it's a draw, and your team's trying to get a goal, he's happy to be that erratic player who makes the other team react and get a bit reckless because he knows his team is well organized. So I like him for that. I also like him for, again, it's nothing to do with being a right back. I think he's just very, he's happy to play short passes and he's happy to play a long pass, and he play perfectly well. I like players that can do both. For me, that's really important. But it's nothing to do with that. Is the fact that he's a right back. But yeah, he's definitely always going to be my top choice. He's always been top of my list.
Me too as well. But brother, people it's just get into the votes right now, because I actually have Frimpong up here. He's up there, and the reason why he's up there is all depending on Aaron Wan-Bissaka's sale, right? We're gonna get to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but I just changed my mind a bit. I think let's complete the ins quickly. So we are tacking on release clauses, Jimmy. We are doing smart business here, right? So apparently we are in for Frimpong, but it's all depending on Wan-Bissaka, right? He's got a release clause. 34, 35 million pounds.
I just don't think
Euros.
right back. I don't think right back is like. I wouldn't spend any money on a right back. To be fair, in this window, I think I would. Positions because
okay, let's play the fantasy game here.
Wan-Bissaka and Dalot, those two are not. They're never going to be the reason why you don't win a major title. I just don't see that being the reason why. Okay,
quick vote. What do you think the chances of us getting Frimpong in this transfer window if we sell Wan-Bissaka?
0. I don't think we can get him. Why would you leave that team now and come to play for Manchester United? I mean, that makes no. If you're a player who's playing now in that team, the way that they've played last season, why would you leave that team to come and play for Manchester United, a team that you're not sure where the manager
got a release clause
for the team?
Let me answer your question. Can I answer your question?
Yeah.
First and foremost, you have Jason Wilcox there in charge. Jason Wilcox brought him up at City.
No, I don't, bro. Who cares about who's up there in the board? I'm a. So
player. You give him in 0 myself. You give him fucking 0%. If you even if the links are there, the reports are there.
Honestly, I would put
Jimmy.
I'll put my house on it. There's not a chance in hell Manchester United would sign Frimpong in this position now. Do you know what? If that, because
I don't agree with you, man.
I'll tell you what. Listen, I think there's a very good chance that actually they don't have a very good season, because they might lose some major players now. If you look at Bayern Munich, have already got 2 agreements there, so they're a team that they played really well, but they could actually lose quite a few important players. They could have a bad season. If you ask me next season, maybe that's a different conversation. I am not. There's no way I'm Frimpong in my position at the moment, having achieved what I've just achieved, and I'm going to go to Manchester United where I'm not even sure what the structure is actually, how effective the structure is going to be. And Mick, I'm not Mr. Negative. I'm a realist. I don't.
Yeah. Okay, but at the end of the day, you're not the one signing then, and this is the reports. What we are, this, Jimmy, if you don't understand, Jimmy, let me explain to you. This is the first time in terms of the transfer rate. This is generated based on the reports, based on the percentage what be happening. So we are following this to the done deal, to the very end. Now, people are voting on this. And I said numerous times, if we sell Wan-Bissaka, you're going to replace Wan-Bissaka with somebody else. And the one that has been hottest link is Frimpong. So therefore, I still put it on 50%, Jimmy. No matter what, if you say 0, you got to be a little bit giddy, mate.
Honestly, I think 0. And I'm not saying 0 because I don't think Manchester United are capable of it. I just think even if I'm any of the directors now, Wilcox, or any of them, any of the technical guys, I'm looking at that deal and thinking this would make no sense. We're wasting our time even trying to negotiate that deal because if you speak to the representatives of that player, they would say,
all right, listen, I have very pressed on time, Jimmy. Let's just continue, right? Otherwise, we're going to stuck to the end of the year voting and debating. Flex is saying agreeing with you, is towing your line. No chance we get Frimpong, Zerki, Van Nistelrooy, Haki, all Dutch, right? And Jolly Manmin is saying he voted 10%. So listen, last time we voted it was on 40%. So I'm going to override you, mate. I'm going to put 40% still just to be on the safe side. And it is 39.26%. Listen, we've gone. Let's just do this. All right, we voted 90%. Jean-Claude Todibo, if this gets a result in the court.
Well, yeah, but it's a big if, isn't it? So, I as it stands now, I would probably put it at 50%. Yeah, just because
50.
Yeah, because this issue is going to be a lot longer than everyone thinks.
Let's do it like this. I'm not going to put my vote in. You're going to tell me, right? And I pull the trigger, okay?
50%.
50. Boom. 43.93. So the people are almost with it. Brentwaite, that's gone down from hot to very cold.
Yeah, I think that Brentwaite is like 20%.
Dead. 20. 30% what people are saying. Lenny Euro, at least that's gone down to 10%.
I'd add 0 for me.
Okay, I don't have 0, so I put 10.
10, yeah.
That's close.
Yeah.
The voters has gone on 29.62%.
Oh, bloody hell.
Same with Araujo as well from Barcelona. 10%.
10%. Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Another centre back that I've been told as well that is a left-footed that can play left back as well is Gonzalo Inacio.
See, that's for me again. That's 0%.
Zero.
Let's put it at 10%.
Really?
Because again, why? Why? How does that make any sense? Does it make any sense?
We need
really.
And
it
can I
doesn't.
explain?
No, but it doesn't make like as a footballer.
Mate,
These
can I
kids
just
now,
explain
some of
to
these
you?
kids actually like playing football. They can't. You can't.
Can I explain to you, sir? If we're moving away for Brentway, which was a left-footed centre back, who is the next target in line? Number 2, which is Gonzalo Inacio. What Gonzalo Inacio can do, he can play you left back, and he can play. And we are linked to him for a release clause on
But we don't need
45
we
million.
don't need a left-footed centre back because we've got Martinez. So why do we need a left?
Well, what if Martinez is fucking injured?
Well,
Who are going to play there then?
But we're not going to sign a 70 million defender as a cover for
Well,
Martinez.
we were supposed to pay 50 million for Brentway.
No, I think
Why
if
not?
you're looking for cover, this is when you should be going for not loans, but because I hate loans personally, but you should be going for your free transfers and the cheaper defenders because this is where your scouting team should be coming in, you know. But anyway, that's
Jimmy. Boo, Jimmy. Listen, you haven't been following. Inacio would be covered for Martinez and Shaw, right? And that's the thing, right? We are looking for an important left back as well, right? And the thing is, you only have, the left back was an issue last season,
but
right?
50 million cover, 50 million is a lot, isn't it?
We were willing to spend 50 million on a kid that was left-footed centre back, which is Brentway. So all I'm saying here, who is the next tier in line? And that is Inacio.
Premier League.
All right, listen.
League. That's important.
Okay.
That's why.
Agree with me on 30%. Agree with me on 30%, brother.
Okay, let's go for 30. I'll take 30. I'll
okay.
30.
Jesus, this sounds like a Polish government here now debating. Fuck me. 30%. And it's still on 31%. Milos Kerkez, left back.
I can't say because I haven't followed that one very much.
Okay, just say 30 as last time then. Okay, 30. All right, 36%. That's gone up. We have a Girona player, which is Miguel Gutierrez, and he is the one from Real Madrid that is on 8 million now, and Real Madrid said, like, we're not going to buy him back. That's it. He's for sale. And we've been apparently looking at him, trying to suss him out. He's a very good left back. 100%. We know from Fabrizio Romano, I say we are going to sign a very important left back.
But as soon as Manchester United were involved, have you seen the price? How the prices have jumped now for him? Like, and this is the problem, isn't it? That we get is that the reason it's very low for me. I think the demands from his camp, I think, would be too much for Manchester United because Man United now they just won't have their pants pulled down, and I think a lot of fans will be unhappy with Ineos actually in this window because I think Man United won't pay the price.
All I'm saying is keep your eyes on Gutierrez. Like I've been hearing this for weeks.
I think it's just not too low.
I've been hearing this for weeks. Like, listen, we are in the market for left back. That means that Luke Shaw will be going.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to sell Malacia. Like we bought in for the future, depending on what his injury is. Like, he's apparently back in training. He's been out 1 year. Similar what his brother from another mother did, like a Timber, like he did an ACL.
I'd like to see him stay, though. I'd like to see him try again another season. See what
okay. So I give you the opportunity to vote here, like Jimmy. Like, what do you think the percentage of us getting 25 million for this centre back? Very good one. Keep your eyes on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
30 million.
I don't see it.
20 million, what Melis Kask is saying, but Real wants 50% sell-on clause.
And I think even 20 million is generous, to be honest.
All right.
I think so. I think that's generous. But because of the market now, like everyone's fucking 20 and 30. Sorry, everyone's 20 and 30 million. So, it just I expect players that are not worth it to be 20.
All right. Jimmy. Listen, you be the virgin here because this is a fresh added card. You get to put your stamp of authority. How do you see it? 40, 50, 30?
I'd say 20.
Jesus. Okay, Mr. Realist, 20%. You said
I
people
would
have
say,
voted 30%. 30%, Jimmy.
okay,
All right.
well, you know,
Frimpong, you voted, and the defensive midfield. This is hot.
this is very,
This is hot.
yeah.
Ugarte. I'm excited about this one.
Right.
Oh my
So,
God.
right, for me now, I would say 90%. 90%. And and only because of his profile. I'm thinking purely for his profile of player. It's not for who's said, what journalists people like or hate, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm just talking from the profile of player that he is, and the murmurings that I've heard that I trust enough. I'm lucky because I've got a friend, a really close friend of mine, who's a credible journalist. He only works for Leicester City, but he has really good information normally. And he said this deal, there's no way that this deal is not going to go through. So when I say 90%, it's purely because you never know. Last minute, someone come with an absolutely amazing deal.
Guess what?
I'm not good.
Guess what? Guess what, Jim? Guess what?
What?
He retweeted, he liked Fabrizio's Romano tweet mentioning about him and Manchester United. He liked it.
There
He
you go.
liked
So
it.
I think he's 90% coming to the club. I really do. And I like him as well. I like him I only like him from probably last season.
But here's the link. Here's what you're going to get.
I like him when
listen to me now. Here's the fucking link. De Ligt, a destroyer. He won't fucking budge for anything. And Ugarte is the same type of profile. He is the fucking destroyer that can run the midfield by himself. Oh my God!
You don't have to convince me. I know he's a good player. I like him very much.
Yeah. Okay. 90%.
For very good technical reasons, he's good.
90%. 90. Done.
Yeah.
Going
90%. 90%.
All right. 90%. Jimmy's going for 90%, and that is gone by almost 80%. Jimmy. So a little bit my support. João Neves. Apparently, we got a bid rejected again. Second bid.
Yeah, 30%. But I can see. I think this is a deal that could just it's an easy deal to do, isn't it? If you really want to.
End of the window. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be like last few days of the window. I think it's going to be one of those deals, maybe even finalized on deadline day, just to make it a bit more exciting.
I think the marquee signing. I think this is the marquee signing, my brother. I think that if you are new custodians, you want to make your mark.
He won't be if we sign De Ligt, will he? He won't be a marquee.
Yeah, true. Okay, right. Rushman is saying here to say Ugarte is a ball winner. We need those 100%. Right? He's a two times upgrade on Fred. You know what I mean? Neves, according to Yaleman, means said 10%. And Neves will run his contract down. The thing is, the latest report is also that saying that they will not get 120 million for him. So they are willing to meet there with United. Would you put him on 50?
Yeah, probably, to be fair. Yeah, probably.
All right, then. Jimmy has spoken 50%, and that is 43.79. 29 votes, people. Get your votes in.
It's a shame because he was at about 80 a few weeks ago for me, to be honest, because I read an article which was really misleading, from a Aston Villa reporter that wrote this article about him being seen with Manchester United scouts a few times, and so anyway, I was misled. And
I think we'll try for him at the end of the window, I guess, as well. We have a priority list that we go through. Sofian Amrabat, though, listen, Manchester United are still in negotiation, talking 19 million.
They should be.
Listen, this is. I spoke to you earlier. This is box clever, right? You buy a Ugarte for 40, 45. You trigger that. You buy that 19 million for Sofian Amrabat, and Bush. You spend 60 million on two positions. Right? One that will start, and one that will be the replacement.
There's only one reason why. I think the main reason why is because they know that Casemiro is not going to play a major part in the season. So
Casemiro's going to be gone.
So Casemiro's what I'm saying, because is Casemiro gone? Is he confirmed gone?
He's definitely going. He's going to Saudi.
Well, but it's not confirmed that he could stay. So if he stayed, he can't play a major part in the season. Hopefully he goes, because I think Casemiro should go and play somewhere else. I think he'll play good football in Saudi or America. I actually think he'd have a good rest of his career.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
But anyway,
Okay, let's move on. A little bit pressed for time.
So that's the only reason.
A little bit pressed for time. The reason why I want to say is how the way we're conducting the business. You know, if you read my mind, what I'm trying to say, we need 2 midfielders in that position, right? We only have 1 CDM, and that's Casemiro. He's definitely going to go this summer. I think they will, you know, the way they want to reduce the wage bill and everything. And why are we looking at Ugarte all of a sudden? Because he's going to replace Casemiro. Amrabat's loan is ending. It's still pictured with the new kit and everything. 19 million. You add on that, you have 2 players for 60. You get my drift there, like, you know, in the same position. Do you see it on 50% that United will sort of make him a permanent move?
Yeah, I think so. I can see it 50%. Yeah, because I mean, I'd like to see him stay, but I think maybe 90 million is a bit too much considering what he is. But
no, they might be negotiating that. Okay,
I think
50% from Jimmy, 50. And guess what? 49.66. That's equal to what you said. Fofana, 25 million. 20 million. He's a good player, but he's kind of low down in the pecking order. Like, you know, he's part of the list. Yeah. Do you see that? If things don't move on, do you think they're going to go for Fofana?
10%.
10%. Okay. 10. 26.15. Box Clever. Reports come out that United have been in talks with Rabiot Mom, offering a 3-year deal. He's 29 years of age. I think this is a smart deal.
No, the 29 midfielder, that's perfect age for me. I like 29. Like Carrick was in his prime at 20, 28, 29, I would say.
Yeah, but it's midfield. You add on him on a free.
And also, when you look at the way that, because one of the biggest things that people say is discipline and all of this. He's been very disciplined in that French team. In fact, he's probably been one of the better, more disciplined players on the pitch every time he's played. So, I would be happy with that deal.
You're all in. You're in. But listen, what I wanted to say here, brother, is basically, you know, you spend 60 millions on Amrabat and, you know, Ugarte, and then you get in this guy for free. What have you spent? 60 million. You might have a little bit of a sign-on fee, give him 200K a week, wages, whatever. I mean, all of a sudden we have 3 midfielders for the price of 60 plus maybe 5 million add-ons or sign-on bonus, whatever.
You've got Bobby Maino in there as well. So
don't forget, you got to introduce other players into it, like the youngsters.
There's many midfielders to introduce. So I think.
And all of a sudden you have energy, and I even forgot we have fucking Mason Mount.
Yeah, you got Mason Mount in there. You got, don't forget Bruno's still a midfielder. He can play deep. He can play up a bit. So people. There's you're looking at a proper squad, because you have to have this squad though. Look at Manchester City, right? You have to have the squad.
I see people in the chat here. I see, no, he's a fucking reject, this and that. Like, I know his mom, the problems, he rejected us. But I look at it from a footballing perspective.
Why are people emotional? Come on, man. Jesus.
No, listen, I look at it from a footballing perspective, my friend. I see it like, Jesus, our midfield's been a problem. Like, Christian Eriksen will be leaving, Casemiro potentially leaving. We need energy in that midfield. And this guy is abundance of energy. He's fucking good on set pieces. He arrives late in the box. He's got a good header. He's got a good cross. Man, done deal for me. Like, at the end of the day, man, what do you think? Rabiot's mom versus the new structure. Cats, big up.
Yeah, I think it's a 50% one, just because you don't, I've not heard enough to give me any indication that there's actually.
It came out today that apparently we are talking. I said this is the one to watch. We've been speaking. We offer him 3 years contract. It's all coming down to the wages. 50%, boom, 41.5. We see. Xavi Simons, I don't see it coming for a loan.
No, 10%.
10%, 37.9. Damn. Desiree Dou as well, 19-year-old. He's kind of a left winger, right winger, potential new Ballon d'Or winner in the future. It all depends on what we're doing with our wingers as well. Like, we missed out on Elise. This is the number 2 in target. What do you think? Will there be a signing of Desiree Dou?
I just haven't. No, I can't really. No, I don't know. I don't know on this one. I haven't followed enough to know at all.
Okay. All right, so I still stick on 40%. I still stick on the last voting, and that is the same. 18 votes on that one. Striker, we already voted. But now the outs in terms of Harry Maguire. Now, guys, we're coming into the out section. We are rounding up the stream. We've gone on extra time. There is how many people watching at the moment? Let me go and check. How many likes are we having at the moment? 81 likes, people. Get it up to 100 likes, please. Don't be greedy like the Glazers. Likes. There is over 200 of you watching. If you can get over 100 likes, Uncle Jimmy will do a chicken dance. I promise. He will not. Maguire, you think there's a chance we'll sell him?
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I'd like to say I hope he stays, but actually it's a bit greedy to say that because we're probably definitely going to sign a centre back. So, I don't know. He can go. You know, I've got no say either way.
All right, 50%.
50%.
You already voted 50%. Yeah, we are almost close, people. 46.7. Lindelof's been reported that Fenerbahce or the Turks are coming in, lowballing, offering 10 million for him. He's 29 years of age. 15 million, you reckon we can get for him?
Nah. Well, maybe you could. I mean, in this market, yeah, probably. Yeah, 50 million probably is fine, to be fair, actually.
Lindelof wants to leave as well. 50% he's going.
I would want to leave, wouldn't you? If you're Lindelof, you have to leave. You have to go.
60% he's going. What do you think?
Yeah, I think more than that, to be honest. I think more like 70%, maybe.
Okay. Uncle Jimmy bidding 70%. And you're right, 67.9. Wan-Bissaka hot on the plate, of course. I love Wan-Bissaka, but he's also been talking to the Turks. There's also interest from Premier League clubs, Aston Villa. I think it was even more. Crystal Palace wanted him back as well. He can go to Italy, right? He's perfect fit there.
I hope he goes abroad somewhere and plays like some
Italy
football where he can just boss the league. Because if he plays like the Italian league would love him. I hope he goes somewhere like that where he can enjoy.
Yeah, he would be perfect in Italy.
Not have the media like all over it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope because I like him a lot, man. I like Wan-Bissaka very, very much.
Yeah, I'm reading Melis Cassis saying 80 to 90% is good player with nice salary. Danny B saying Aaron Wan-Bissaka keep if we can get leased for 2025. 20 million. Do you do the deal? 25 if it's a Premier League club, 30?
No, I'm not doing a deal for 2025. It would have to be more 30, 35 million, I would say.
Okay. You see, we're trying to raise money here. So what's the percentage chance of him leaving? It looks like he's leaving.
I'd probably say 50%, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. 50% is your vote, and we have 46.2. Yeah. Luca Schuberto. I think that the judge and jury is out. Like, I'm not going to talk bad about Luke Shaw, but I have a problem regarding his availability. That's the thing, and that's what I believe Ineos is also looking. That's why we are linked to buy another left back. Age 28, perfect time to cash in, say goodbye. You're not going to sell Malacia. He's still young. So who are you going to sacrifice? Luke Shaw.
Yeah, because I think Malacia probably will have something to offer, and people won't agree with this, but I think get him fit and see what he can actually do if he plays the whole season. The problem with Luke Shaw is it doesn't matter how high his ceiling is, because Luke Shaw's ceiling is pretty high as a left back. He's one of the best in the world, I think, technically on the ball. I think he's one of the best at crossing the ball as well. People don't see him for that, but I've seen Luke Shaw cross some pretty amazing balls. He can score. He can do all. He drifts in as well. He's happy to he's happy to overlap. He's happy to underlap. He's happy to overload and try and help in midfield. He can do all these little things. He just cannot stay fit. So for me,
and that's the problem.
And I think we need Malacia to try and see what he can do to try and take that spot, because no one has claimed it yet. So,
yeah. Well, it looks like from breaking news that AC Milan is now going for Morata instead as a striker.
Yeah. I think he'd do well there, to be fair. I like Morata.
Yep, I just got this news from Rushmano to say that AC Milan is turning the targets to Morata on the salary. They're agreeing the salary that there has 30 million release clause in his contract with the Atleti. Now he has to decide his future. So they are kind of moving away from Xerxes then and going for Morata.
Yeah, I don't think they can compete in terms of going for Xerxes. If they were going for Xerxes and we were going for Xerxes, the only way
they just didn't want to play.
The only way they win is if the player really wants to play for them and not Manchester United. I don't think they win on competition in the market. You know, we've got these,
Thank you.
Yeah, we've got these big hitters now at the club, so it's not going to be as easy for clubs to just do one over us anymore.
Yeah. Just want to give you a massive thanks to Rush Maynard that provided this tweet for us as well. AC Milan is now looking for Morata. They're moving away. That is more than 90% that United has succeeded on Xerxes. If they're looking at Morata, 100%. Listen, Luke Shaw, I want to give you the vote. He's got 1 year left, apparently 50%.
He won't leave. He won't leave in the club. I think 10%. He won't leave the club. I don't think he'll leave the club. No, I can't say. They can't sell it.
10%, 20.
I'd say 10%.
He's on the list.
No, 10% because you can't sell Luke Shaw right now.
Yeah, he's on 15. Yeah, he's injury prone. Nobody wants to buy it. Scott McTominay. Let's move on. Scott McTominay. Forget about Luke Shaw. I agree with you. He's a difficult one. He's injury prone. Who wants to buy an injury prone player? But Scott McTominay's got value. He did well last season, scored a lot of goals, tons of lots of goals. I think that now, the latest reports coming out here that Fullham, who's losing Palhinha, is back in for Scott McTominay. West Ham.
They won't buy Scott. They won't buy Scott to replace Palhinha because they're completely different players, aren't they? So I just don't see how they would make that replacement. I think if they were buying Scott McTominay, it would probably be more to play as a false nine as a substitute. He wouldn't start for them, I don't think, because he doesn't fit into really their sort of typical style of play. So I don't think he'd go there to replace Palhinha. But I do think that Scott McTominay is a sellable asset, and I think there's clubs that can benefit from him. I'd use Everton as an example. I think if you have Scott McTominay playing in the 8 for Everton last season, they score 1 or 2 more goals than they did. I think they win 1 or 2 more games than they did. So he'd be useful for a team like that. But I think, again, you'd have to find a perfect market for him. So I'm going 50%.
50%?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Judge and jury has voted 50% on Scott McTominay. Yeah, 46.67. Ericsson, he will be gone.
Why'd you say that? Why'd you say it like that? What have you heard that I haven't heard?
I heard that he's going to Turkey potentially.
Who told you that?
You read the news. I work for Australian News as well as a freelancer as well. I speak to them.
Who's the signing for in Turkey?
Yeah, well, they're interested. He's definitely going. Yeah.
But for who? Who's the signing? What club is it?
Well, there's Fenerbahce, Galatasaray. There's interests, right? He's spoken to the club asking about his potential future. They said, yeah, you can look. 8 million. We got him for free, right?
I think the club will sell Mount before they sell Ericsson.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
they bought Mount in.
I think they would sell Mount before they sell it. Only because I think, I know, especially when you look at, because of the way that Ericsson's performed at the Euros now, I don't know. I think they sell Mount before Ericsson. I really do.
All right. I don't. Do you fancy him to stay or?
No, I'd love Ericsson to stay, yeah, but I'd love Mount to stay as well. So I'm being a bit greedy, you know what I mean? Because I want to see what Mount and Ericsson do when Bruno's not playing.
He's been good at Euros, though, so got to give him that.
Who, Ericsson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's been good at Euros, but I'm saying I want to see him play in the Man United team. If he's lucky enough to have Ugarte and Maino playing with him up front, I'd like to see that. Like, I'd like to see how
the thing is, he wants minutes. He wants to play. He doesn't want to sit on the ground on the bench. That's the thing. So he's asking for the future.
But I think he would play. I think both Mount and Ericsson would play in the Manchester United team if we have another mobile midfielder to make next to Maino, rather than just having Casemiro. You know,
Listen,
I think
I agree to disagree. I think Mount is untouchable. Like, we bought him in last season. He was injured, but now, we haven't seen the best out of Mount. Ericsson running down on age 32. There's no way
well,
you
they
see what the
transfer Mount
Ineos want to do.
anyway. They couldn't sell Mount if they wanted to. So Mount is always going to stay because they can't sell him if they need. If they
All
want
right,
to,
Jimmy, I'm going to overrule you. I agree with what people say. 50% he's going to go. All right, sorry, brother. Sorry about that. 50%, and a lot of you say 50%. Casemiro, it's reports is going to Saudi, potentially 30 million, 35 million.
Good price.
Time to go, Cass. 32, age
Yeah,
32.
Yeah, I
Move on.
can see him staying. I can see him going. Yeah,
50%,
I'd see more than that. 70% maybe.
70%. Yeah, he fell out with Ten Hag. He wasn't picked in the cup, and he wasn't even picked for Brazil. So yeah, 70%.
I don't think it fell out with Ten Hag as such. I don't believe those stories. But
Yeah.
but 70%.
All right, Greenwood is a bidding war currently. Like, my friend Alfredo Pedola tweeted today that Lazio is coming in for an improved bid. So there's a bidding war between Lazio currently and Marseille as well. So do you think he's gone? Manchester United want 40 million for him?
Yeah, well, I think Manchester United, well, they want what, 40 million euros.
Yeah.
Because I did read that it was about 33 million pounds. So, look, you cannot sell Greenwood for peanuts. Look at how he's played football last season. How can you sell him for nothing? I don't care what anyone tells me. For me, you either get the right price for Greenwood or you keep him at the club. I'm sorry. I'm not like that. And even if it's just to make a statement, because I think a statement that you make now is worth more than what you think you might have got for him. So, for example, if they don't sell Greenwood for 35 million, because that's what's been offered, but actually they keep him at the club and he ends up running out of contract and they don't get any money for him at all, I think the negotiation power that refusal gives you is worth more than that 35 million for me, because I think Manchester United need to put a stamp on the football market to say we're not going to have our pants pulled down anymore. So I think it's important that we don't sell him for peanuts, whether we get anything for him or not. No, just say no to it. Just say no, whatever. No, absolutely not.
I think that they are testing the waters, according to my opinion. Reading between the lines, they said they want 40 millions because to sell him is a pure profit, and also they know his ability. I know there's more clubs interested in fishing, even Premier League clubs that have refused to admit, but they are definitely. And the thing is, on the 15th, I think it is, or on the 8th, they have to report back to Carrington for training, right? So for me, it looks like if United don't get a satisfactory price, they look like they might keep him by the sounds, but I'm reading it, because they want to sell him for a decent price to cash in. And plus, there's a 20 million, 20% add-on as well, sell-on fee from Girona, if you didn't know. We fucked up. Murta fucked up.
It's not the first time, is it?
I mean, how the fuck can you offer, it's not even their asset, They took him on the loan and they slapped in, you get 20% sell-on. Really?
Yeah, but I think, I don't know. I think the agents now, what they thought of Manchester United, you can very clearly see is not what they think now, because
Jimmy,
everything's changing.
70, 80%, what do you reckon?
Yeah, 70%. 70%.
7%. Yep, 75% there. Jadon Sancho definitely fucking going, right? The latest reports say that Juve are definitely gonna, go in for permanent. They want, Greenwood. They moved away from. They looked at Greenwood first, but they're now pulling the attention to Sancho. I don't know what Borussia Dortmund is doing. I think they're playing the long game. I think they're playing to the end of the window to put in a cheeky little bid.
Well, it's a risky game for them to play, really, to be fair. If they're playing the long game, it's a very stupid game to play when you've got no cards to negotiate with. Manchester United don't have to sell you this player. The player is unhappy with the club, but it doesn't mean Manchester United have to sell you this player. We don't have to sell the player. So
what happens if we don't sell the player then?
Well,
We
if you
just put
don't
him in
sell
the
the player,
freezer
the
box.
player comes back and he sits on the bench. That's up to him if he wants to do that.
Yeah, he puts in the
So,
freezer box.
so Manchester United are under no pressure, and the thing is, Dortmund think that they're dealing with Ed Woodward, and I think they're finding out quite quickly that they're not dealing with Ed Woodward. They're dealing with actual football people, because Manchester United are not going to be put under any pressure to sell Jadon Sancho. We don't need to
All
sell
right,
him.
then.
The guy,
All right, brother.
be sold by us. So
I give you the honor. Well, pull the trigger.
20% him going. 20%.
20.
Oh, unless
Wow.
something changes in the way that Dortmund have approached this, I can't see him being sold. He's going to sit on the bench for half the season again.
Would you mind him sitting on the bench and stinking up the place?
Oh yeah, I
He
would.
will just...
Because he's shown me signs, in the back end of that Champions League campaign, that he can still play the football that I've seen him play there before. So it's of course, I'd be gutted for him to sit on the bench, knowing there's a player that is capable of.
He won't even train, man. He will be put in the freezer.
That assist, that one, like he played 3 1-2s in like the space of a minute.
Yeah,
He ended up assisting the goal. It was great. It was amazing to see. So yeah,
big
of
up,
course, I'd be gutted to see that.
Big up Wizard saying United buying Sancho for political reason is stupidity. Nobody wants him. Manchester never wanted him. Dortmund say they love him, but
we didn't want him. No one wanted him, really, if you think about it. Who wanted him? Ed Woodward back then, all the way back then.
Yeah, 100%. They even lied to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's an email leak as well. They said, keep going this gravy train that we're going to buy him. We're not going to buy him until the next season.
You see what, Ollie? You know what? Listen, let me tell you. This is a controversial statement. I know we need to go, but let me just make this really quick statement. You know what manager I feel sorry for is having not worked under a structure like this structure that's being formed at Man United now is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If you had given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer this structure now, because he would have given them no problems. He would have said to them, you man go out and get me players, give me players that can play football, and I promise you I'll get these lads motivated enough to play football. He might not be the intricate tactical genius, but Manchester United would have played really good football under a good structure with Ole, because you would have seen what you're seeing at Real Madrid, where you just buy the best players and they just learn to play with each other in an effective way. That's what you would have seen. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah. We got some breaking news also coming from Graham Bailey at the moment as well, saying that understands that Fulham have inquired about Scott McTominay as they see him as a possible replacement for Palhinha. Exactly what I said. McTominay, one of numbers of options. McTominay are one of many options, or number of options that Fulham are looking at. Andre Calvin Phillips, Morten Hjulman, and also on the radar. And Morten Hjulman is like 65 million release clause. McTominay they can get for 35-40, and Calvin Phillips hasn't kicked the ball for a year. Where is Calvin?
Hey, he's missing from the England team apparently. They need him there apparently.
Dude like Calvin. Yeah. All right, so mate, I hear your pessimism, but I think he's going to get sold. I put 70%, man. Seriously.
No.
He's going to be sold or loaned out.
I hope so, but I don't see
All right, then I'll put 70%, mate. Sorry, guys. We got to move on as well. 77.20. You guys think differently. Rashford is another controversial. Reports came out that PSG are inquiring. The price has been set for £80 million. Jimmy, what do you think? Will Rashford go?
No. There's not a chance in hell that Ten Hag is letting Rashford go. I can't see it happening.
Why?
Because he's too good to be. You can't allow Rashford to leave the club. You just can't. He's too good. You know the problem is this is what Manchester United fans don't realize, right? Because they didn't get a perfect Rashford last season. Man, them think they can just replace Rashford. You don't replace Rashford, right? Rashford, I believe it or not, Rashford is not replaceable. You can get another player that can give you some of those qualities, pace.
But if they put him for sale,
let me land this.
Yeah.
You will get players that can give you the pace, going past players, and all of those kind of qualities that you're looking for in your wingers. But you won't get Marcus Rashford. And for me, Marcus Rashford is the player who can give you a consistent amount of magical moments that can be effective for your season. For me, that's what I see. And I know that he's had a poor season last season. I know that. I'm not blind. I'm not stupid. I follow football. But I think Rashford is a player that gives you those enough of those magical moments that actually affects what the outcome of your season is. So you can't replace Rashford. And if you're going to sell Rashford, don't give me any less than ATMs for me. Easy.
No. What if you sell Rashford and get a Nico Williams? I mean, he's in the pump. He's 26, sellable asset. You know, PSG are interested.
No, not for me.
I don't know, man. It's all coming down to Rashford and his, you know, he's a wake-up call. He wasn't picked for England.
50,
he had a shit season.
50.
50, okay, 50%. There might be a chance. 50%, 33.3. And the judge, and that's it. We've gone over the salary. And the purpose of this is how we can actually generate, you know, up to 200, 300 by selling these players. You know, you get my drift, right? You have to summarize, you know, there's been a price set on Rashford. We might get 80 million, bam, right? That's pure profit there, right? On the PSR FFP, right? Jadon Sancho potentially going for 30 million, 25 to recuperate some money, right? You have Greenwood potentially 30, 40 million, right? There's money in the bank. Casemiro leaving as well. It's been reports saying 30 million, right? Getting 18 million off his wage bill as well. That's cool. Christian Eriksen, we got him for free. He's under like what 7.2 million a year in wages. 8 million you can get or get something for free. Scott McTominay, of course, there's now what we displayed. Fullham is interested. We can get 40 million for him. Homegrown talent. Barabish, barabosh, bish, 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 50%. Luke Shaw, you said, I don't believe it. You know, it's hard sell. I agree with you. It's a hard sell. Then you go on Wan-Bissaka, sellable asset, 100%, 20 million, 40 million, 30 million, right? Lindelof, judge and jury's out. Looks like he's gone. Maguire is an asset the club are willing to listen to offers as well. So Maguire, you can get 30 million. He's got a market value in 20 at the moment. So this is what I'm trying to say, like, you know, Jimmy, like, you know, this is how they could actually generate the money on outs, right? One thing, people, is not just about the ins, it's the outs, which is important because we need to sell to buy as well. Yeah. So this was the whole purpose of this exercise, Jimmy. I hope you enjoyed it.
You know, I appreciate this exercise because it you know, I like to give my opinion on these players and how I feel about what they're doing out there, you know. Because these players are prejudged a lot, you know, and I think we don't have conversations enough about them.
Yeah,
so.
We have 86 likes, people. If there are 250 of you watching right now,
guys, just hit it now.
Come
right
on,
now,
push it up. No, actually 987. Jimmy, it's 987 live viewers at the moment and 86
guys, come
likes.
on, man. Just hit, like,
it's
literally
easy
right
equation.
in front of you right now. Just before, like, right now, just hit it right now. Just hit the like button. It's easy. Just like, if you're on the phone, just tap the screen. You'll see the little finger up, thumbs up. Just hit that one. That one.
Okay, we are overextending our stay, Jimmy. What was supposed to be 1 hour is 1 hour and 47 minutes. Guys, we're going to go into your questions.
Your fault.
I asked earlier, like, you know, if you have any questions, like we have a couple of questions coming in from Simon Davis to say, question, please. How long will United give Erik ten Hag regardless of contract if things don't go according to plan? This is for you, Jimmy.
Well, I think that question is how long is a piece of string? You know, because if we look at the start of Sir Alex Ferguson's era at Manchester United when he came in, Sir Alex Ferguson didn't do very well at the start of his tenure, and everyone knows that. This is a very well-known, you know, it's a very well-known fact that Sir Alex didn't do very well when he came at Manchester United. In fact, actually, he was averaging about 39% possession of the ball in his first 15 matches. So you're looking at a team that everyone's thinking this team is not doing very well. So for me, when I say how long is a piece of string, it's how patient can Manchester United fans be with the manager? Because Ineos, believe it or not, whether they want to or not, whether they plan to go down this path or not, they're always going to be driven by the fans. What the fans say is going to drive the decisions that they make. And you guys are going to have to be the guys that drive what we want for our club. So do we want a long-term, sustainable way of playing football, or do we want immediate success that might go away next season? So it's up to the fans. I think, for me, I think the fans are going to determine what happens. That's how I see it.
Fair play, man. Fair play. You know what? That's a good one. We move on to Kat's question here to say, Kat has a question for you. Kat from Greater Manchester. Question: if we can get the kind of money we'd like for someone of our players, would you cut your losses, get rid of and save wages and move on? I guess that's a big question. If you, let's say Greenwood, or let's say, I don't know, what do you mean? Maybe in particular ways, Harry Maguire, big wage, or Casemiro, big wage. If we can get that money that we like for some of our players, would you cut your losses and get rid of to save wages to move on?
I think they would, because if you look at Fred was an example of that, wasn't it? Because Fred was obviously, that was a loss to the club because the money we got for him wasn't the money that we that we paid for him, even in terms of for the player themselves. Do they, what are they expecting from the club? Because the club has conversations with individual players. So the club is making promises to the players to say, we're going to do this for your career if you sign for us. When those players then sign for the club, and this is why people say, oh, Manchester United let Pogba down. Yes, you could say that, and I think there's reasonable argument to make for that. But actually, did the club let the player down, or did the player just not live up to the expectation of the fan base? Because at the end of the day, it's the fans that decide. So
it's
again,
like the question. It's like the question: who came first, the chicken or the egg?
Chicken or the egg? It's a chicken or the egg conversation. It really is. It really is. So
listen. Speaking about chicken, Jimmy, you're in danger, my friend. Yali Mamin is saying 13 likes to get a double chicken dance. Fuck. Seriously.
I like a challenge.
Kat is saying, I promised this for the last, comes from Kat again, one of our loyal members. Mick, can we have a mention for Busby Bafe?
Oh, Jeff. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he died of age of 90. Yeah. He left Manchester United in 1957.
Yes.
Yeah, rest in peace. We have a big mention.
Rest in peace, Jeff. I saw that today on Twitter. I didn't know about it.
I didn't see that. I didn't know about it either.
I hadn't seen it until a few hours ago, and I saw it on Twitter. So yeah, no, rest in peace. Rest in peace for that.
Right, guys. If you have any more questions, let us know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna reveal the Horometer standing at the moment. Guys, you voted, and this is the in status, right? Let me just zoom in on this one, right? Let me just zoom in. The way the leaderboard is standing, I hope you can see that. Manuel Ugarte is leading, is on the first spot.
Of course he is.
Yeah, you are on almost 80%. Joshua Zirkzee on second place on 73%.
Yeah, but you see, these are all, you see how my pickings are going, like they're all up there. Look, you see what I mean? Brother, I'm telling you, bro.
Brother, I'm telling you, like, Matthias de Ligt is on, what is he? He is on third place. And people believe that Sofian Amrabat is going to get a new contract.
I believe he is. I genuinely think he's gonna have a new contract, and Man United won't have to pay anywhere near what those guys think that Man United will have to pay.
Yeah. You guys still believe that Jean-Claude Todibo is on sixth place, that he might have a resolution. Rabiot will come on the free. Jeremy Ping Pong, what you didn't believe, is on eighth place. Desiree Due on 9th, and on the 10th.
I don't believe he's. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah. This is the top 10, guys. If you look at the outs, we know that Alvaro Fernandez has been confirmed as the out. Rafael Varane has left on the free. We raised the 18 million in wages and 5.9 in sale for Alvaro. Then people reckon Jadon Sancho is on third. That's going out on 30 million. Mason Greenwood on fourth spot. Victor Lindelof on fifth. Casemiro on 6th, Christian Eriksen on 7th, Harry Maguire on 8th, Scott McTominay for some reason 9. I think that should be pushed up even higher. Wan-Bissaka on 10, and Marcus Rashford, unsellable, what you said, on 11, and Luke Shaw. The injury prone is on 12th. So Luke Shaw lives another day. Guys, I will post this as a separate Hodometer on Twitter and in the community page. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you everyone for watching
Guys,
and
thank you very
providing
much.
your vote.
Cheers. Big up, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mick,
Yep,
nice one, man. Cheers.
We have 10 away from a chicken dance, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a chicken dance for us. Just want to give you a massive thanks, Jimmy, for coming in, and everyone that's been participating. We have amazing super chats and memberships gifting. You know, Jonathan Lilliver for being a member for 12 months, Rush Maynor for gifting your 20 memberships, and also 5 memberships gifted, and a super chat for you, Jonathan, as well. That's about it for today, Jimmy. Like, you know,
big up. Cheers, guys. Nice one. Nice to see everyone.
Just to summarize,
follow me.
Just to summarize,
at JStar City on Twitter. Make sure you follow me at JStar City.
Yeah, we'll do that, Jimmy. So you can follow Jimmy on Twitter, JStar City. Go check it out. Always provide great input. Jimmy, just to summarize things, like, you know, a word of advice to the fan base.
Word of advice: be realistic, and please understand when I say that. Please take your time to understand that statement. Be realistic about your expectations of what it means to transform a failing club into a successful club. It doesn't happen overnight. It's never happened overnight anywhere in the history of football. You can go as far back as the Blackburn Rovers team that won the Premier League. That didn't happen overnight. You look at what happened the 2 seasons before that, you will see that they were building from quite a while before. So be realistic is my only advice.
And that's what we call MUFC Realist TV. Guys, final word for me. Thank you for tuning in as per usual. If there's anything new breaking, I'll be there covering. We'll be here every single day for you for the following the transfer windows, ins and outs. And please, you know what to do. If you're watching this in retrospective, give us a like, subscribe if you haven't. We are on a roadmap for 31,000 subscribers very soon, and almost 40 by the end of the year. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been Uncle Jimmy, the realist, and Mick, the less realist.
Bless, guys.
Bless you all, and have a good evening. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Remember, peace, love, and go bananas. See you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow us on the socials.